So it was time to head out to the little square foot garden by the river. And if you're new to my channel, this is just a little place where we go during the summer. We close it down during the winter, and it's just what we call our weekend getaway. But this year, I've only been out there 2 times. Once was to do garden cleanup from the previous year, and then the other time was to plant some potatoes and some tomatoes and peppers. So anyway, I want to share with you today the potato harvest. So this was my 3rd visit to the garden. And so this is the little river here. And now I'll show you the square foot garden. And I basically just planted the potatoes in about 3 beds. I think I had about anywhere from 25 to 30 Kennebec seed potatoes. So over here to the right, I planted some in this little 2x6 bed. To the left, I have a 2x4 bed, and then I also have another 2x6 bed. Just a reminder too, in the square foot garden, we only have about 6 inches of soil. So all of these potatoes were grown in 6 inches of soil. So I put on my gloves and I got busy digging in the dirt. And you know, you want to be pretty gentle when you are harvesting your potatoes. So I like to just do this by hand. You know, the soil blend in the square foot garden is just so loose and light. So it's just easier for me to just dig with my hands instead of using some type of tool. So you know, if you scratch the skin of the potato, then it won't store as well. And I wanted to be very careful so that I could store some if I had to. So thankfully, I had a lot of potatoes to harvest, but my little bin was getting pretty full. So I gently transferred all of them over to a paper bag. And then I put the paper bag in the bin just to give it a little bit more support. I finished harvesting all of the potatoes. And then remember, with the square foot garden, when you pull something out, you go back and you plant something behind it. And this is how you really maximize your harvest in a small space. So I cleaned up the soil, I put a little bit more compost in there, and then I planted some carrots, spinach, scallions, and sugar snap peas. So I'm not sure when I'll be going back out to the garden, probably in late fall, and hopefully everything will be up and growing. All of those vegetables and herbs should grow and then survive the winter for me here, except for the sugar snap peas. So the scallions, spinach, and carrots usually do real well out here without any attention from me. So I always like that. So I separated out my potatoes. Obviously, I want to cook the smaller potatoes together, and then I left the larger ones for some bigger meals. And so I weighed everything. Now, my biggest potato came in just a couple of ounces shy of a pound. This was a Kennebec potato. Now, I did have a few Yukon Golds in there, and I think a red potato or 2. Those were just some extra seed potatoes I had, but most of them were Kennebec, and I was very surprised at how well they produced. So, and it's it's a pretty good storage potato too, is my understanding. This is the first time that I've grown it. So I weighed all the potatoes, and they came in just about a pound or 2 short of 20 pounds. So that was great. I was very happy with the harvest. And then I got busy in the kitchen. One of my favorite things to cook with some of the larger potatoes is a big dish of scalloped potatoes. And of course, one of the easiest things to cook, I think, is roasted potatoes. So we enjoyed those. And I'll just give you one glance at the little native soil garden that we have right there by the river. The other square foot garden is in the front of our house. This is the little back area, and since we share this property with family, they have kind of helped keep this little garden under control this year. I've kind of abandoned it. I was like, I'm tired of working with that back garden. It's a lot of work and weeding when you are growing in native soil, especially when it's somewhere you don't live. So pretty much the little flowers that I planted last year have been doing great. A lot of the zinnias have reseeded, and then everything is just doing, real pretty back there. So my in-laws have really been tending to this little area this year. I'm just focusing on my home garden and the square foot garden. So anyway, there you go. That was my harvest at the square foot garden at the river. And thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a beautiful day.